Red Bull Racing recently announced that they're keeping Sergio Perez for the rest of the 2024 season. This decision comes despite his ongoing struggles in performance and a lot of speculation about his future with the Austrian outfit. Christian Horner, the team principal, confirmed that Perez will continue to race alongside Max Verstappen after the summer break. This move has surprised many on the grid, including the Verstappen family, who were apparently shocked by the surprise decision. According to F1 insiders Ralph Bach, the news of Perez retaining his seat really caught the Verstappens off guard. Apparently, Max and his family were told before Christian Horner's announcement that Perez would be replaced during the summer break. Horner and Helmut Marko had made it pretty clear that a new driver would be joining Max for his home race at the Dutch Grand Prix in Zandvoort, starting on August 23rd. Despite this surprising U-turn, Max Verstappen seems to support the decision. He mentioned in Belgium that the main focus should be on improving the car, not on changing drivers. He defended Perez, saying, "I think our main concern is the car. That's what we should focus on mainly. Because I think if you look at Checo's weekend, it was very positive. Of course, in the race, it just shows that we have difficulties with the tires, I think still, the tire life. So I think that should be our main priority." While Max may have a point there, given that he's been fighting with the car for the past few races himself, there are still a lot of glaring question marks about Checo's performance. His mid-season slumps have become a sort of pattern at this point since he joined the team. Before this decision came out, Daniel Ricciardo had been tipped to replace Perez, with Liam Lawson lined up to take Ricciardo's spot at Visa Cash App Racing Bulls. Helmut Marko and Christian Horner met on Monday, with Perez's position naturally on the agenda. After their meeting, both Marko and Horner came out with the same story. Perez would stay. Checo remains a Red Bull Racing driver despite recent speculation, and we look forward to seeing him perform at tracks he has previously excelled at after the summer break. It's clear that neither Marko nor Horner were 100% convinced by any successor to Perez. According to F1 Insider, Helmut Marko doesn't want Ricciardo to replace Perez. As per Marko, Ricciardo didn't fit into the team's philosophy of promoting young drivers from its junior team. RB. Team principal Christian Horner, meanwhile, preferred Ricciardo. Unfortunately for the Briton, however, Red Bull decided against bringing him on board, and the Honey Badger is set to stay in Faenza for the remainder of the season at least. Lawson not being considered good enough is also evident from the decision to keep Ricciardo around as well. The Australian is not yet rated highly enough for Red Bull Racing, but he remains seated. Lawson has driven several tests for Red Bull, but hasn't shown anything that would force Ricciardo out of his seat. The exact reason why Red Bull decided to keep Perez remains unclear. Some say that Liberty Media, which owns the F1 rights, asked Red Bull not to drop Perez before the Mexican Grand Prix in October. They were worried that if Perez was sacked, it could hurt ticket sales for one of the most popular races on the calendar, potentially causing financial losses. But these rumors have been denied by Red Bull. On the competition side, Red Bull is in a tight fight with McLaren and Mercedes for the constructors' title. And so far, Max Verstappen has been the only one delivering strong results. Speculations about Perez losing his seat started right around the Belgian GP. There were whispers going around in the paddock that Checo was one bad performance away from being sacked by the Milton Keynes outfit. He had a tough race on Sunday as well, where he started P2 but crossed the line P8, which was bumped up to P7 after George Russell's disqualification. Red Bull decided to keep him after some serious deliberation. This put him 3 places behind Verstappen, who started 11th due to a grid penalty. As of the Belgian Grand Prix, Perez's points tally was 146 behind Verstappen's. With 10 races left in the season, things could get tricky for Red Bull if Perez doesn't step up his game. His performance needs to improve to support the team's push for the Constructors' Championship. Last month, Horner labeled Perez's lack of point scoring as unsustainable, while team advisor Helmut Marko said in Spa he completely collapsed. What looked so positive in qualifying unfortunately didn't materialize in the race, but now those concerns seem to have taken a back seat. Marko added after confirming Perez would stay, "We want to bring him back to his old form." Ricciardo also remains. Nothing will change. For 2025, the cards will be reshuffled again. This means the reshuffle announced for after the summer break has been postponed until the end of the year. Everything is still possible for 2025. Perez can stay, but he can also be replaced. For now, Horner and Marko have made it clear that Perez and Ricciardo will keep their seats, but not for how long. Perez will get the chance to prove himself at circuits where he has previously performed well, such as Baku and Singapore. But if he performs poorly there, will he get out? Probably not. If Ricciardo and Lawson are not deemed good enough now, why in 4 races? The 2024 Constructors' title might be a price Red Bull is prepared to pay. For several years now, the real importance of the Constructors' Championship has been more significant towards the back of the grid, where position changes materially affect a team's ability to develop the car for the following season and impact the organization's overall well-being and future prospects. For a team like Red Bull, winning the Constructors' Championship has become more of a bonus. Quite literally, for the on-the-ground workforce at the end of the year, Red Bull's decision to retain Perez may have just given the initiative to McLaren, who are now just 42 points behind. With both Lando Norris and Oscar Piastri making significant and consistent contributions, McLaren is a strong contender in the team title race. But how much would it really matter in the grander scheme of things if Red Bull were to lose the Constructors' title? Never underestimate Perez's role in Max Verstappen's rise as one of the greatest drivers in F1 history. Perez has provided Max the platform and breathing space to excel. By being Sergio Perez, sometimes slower and inconsistent, he allows Max Verstappen to shine. This dynamic has worked exceedingly well since 2021, bringing unprecedented success to the team. It's a balance Red Bull is cautious about disrupting unless absolutely necessary. If preserving this balance means conceding the Constructors' title, then they seem to be willing to make that gamble. For now at least. But what about next year? The era of Red Bull's dominance seems to be fading away. The likely exciting narrative of the 2025 might see a weakening Red Bull, still adjusting to the loss of Adrian Newey, fighting to fend off a maturing McLaren. Mercedes also seems to have found their groove, and Ferrari, energized by the arrival of Lewis Hamilton, could also be in the mix. Max, brilliant as he is, might still be able to hold them off all by himself without a strong wingman, but could Red Bull really afford to take that risk? That's why it is crucial that Perez re-emerges as an active competitor, not just a passenger, ahead of 2025. Speaking at Spa before the news he will stay was confirmed, Perez declared that he'd had enough of the speculation about his future, but he admitted, "Yeah, it was a really bad race for us. Ultimately, we didn't have the pace today." He added, "I don't think I will be responding anymore to any future speculation. I'm here with the team fully committed. As a team, we have a lot of stuff to focus on, to get ourselves ready for the second half of the season. I've had enough of the speculation. I've said everything I have to. Yeah, it's time to take a break, regroup with the team, and get back to it." So there you have it. Red Bull's decision to keep Sergio Perez has certainly shaken things up in the paddock. While it might seem like a risky move, it's clear that the team values the dynamic between Perez and Verstappen and isn't ready to disrupt it just yet. What do you think about Red Bull's decision? Will Perez be able to deliver and secure his place in the team? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe to stay up to date with the latest F1 news.